have a question for you. Do you have ADHD? Do you want to? This is ULTRAKILL, a game still in development as of the release of this video, which was made by a man who thought Doom Eternal was too slow and decided to make concentrated fun in video game format. The story of ULTRAKILL is as follows. You are Motherboard 9000, aka V1, a fragile machine but that can heal from the blood of your enemies as an initiative from the private military industrial complex to make all machines powered by renewable sources by 2100. However, you and your fellow machines have killed all life on Earth. Lucky for you, hell is real and is full of juicy demons who pop like a piñata of blood when you kill them. So your mission now is to exterminate both demons and angels in hell as the ultimate atheist. Mechanics. Now let's talk mechanics. In ULTRAKILL you can move and shoot, much like other boomer shooters that this game draws inspiration from. While this may not seem like much, what makes this game special is the variety with which you can do these actions. First, movement. You can walk, slide, wall jump, dash, slam, and heavy slam as the basic movement options. You can also combine some of these to break the sound barrier. For example, if you slide down a wall, press Ctrl to slam on the ground, and jump at the perfect time, you will do what's called the slam storage. In this state, if you lightly tap the ground and jump again, you'll be sent to the fucking moon. Alternatively, if you do slam storage and slide on the ground in the right time, all your upward momentum from the slam storage will be converted into forward momentum, resulting in you flying at breakneck speeds into the air. There are many more movement tech, such as damage boosting, super slide jumping, free dash jumping, and others. For any more movement tech, I suggest you watch Hammer Size videos. There are currently 4 weapons in ULTRAKILL, and all except for the railgun have 2 modes, out of 4 that are planned on release. While these weapons are commonly seen in other boomer shooter games, they are all unique in their own way. The revolver is the starting weapon. It has the weakest shot out of all the weapons. What makes this weapon special is the outshot. The first one shoots a charged beam that breaks glass and goes through enemies, while the second outshot makes V1 flick a coin into the air, which when shot will redirect through the nearest enemy's weak point for quite a bit of damage. The coin can also be used with other weapons, such as the railgun, and also can be used to parry an enemy's attack back to them. The revolver, however, shines when you get this secret hidden throughout Limbo, and you get this lead revolver, which from the get-go already does 2.5 times the damage from the standard revolver. The normal shot can pierce through enemies, and the charged shot acts as a railgun that hits enemies multiple times when charged. The second weapon is the shotgun, which is also the most fun weapon in the entire game, in my opinion. Why is this, you may ask? The reason is simple. You can punch your own shots to make them deal extra damage and explode on impact. Enough said. The shotgun's first outfire is the cover jack, which lets you shoot out a grenade that explodes on contact, while the second outfire is a pump action shotgun that does more damage the more you charge it. However, charge it too much and it will explode in your face, which might be a good thing if you know how to use it, or you might just kill yourself while trying to get invite just like I did. The third weapon is the nail gun, which can shoot an attracting magnet that polarizes both enemies and nails, which you can use to make them blender with. The other outfire is the overheat, which lets you fire a barrage of bullets whenever you hit it enough. These bullets are also a bit warm and set fire on nearby enemies. The fourth weapon is the rail cannon, which lets you do this. The first outfire is the malicious cannon, which copies the malicious face charge shot and can be used to clear hordes of weak enemies. The second outfire is the screwdriver that deals damage over time and makes this enemy unable to teleport. If you thought the movement had enough tech, you're wrong, as the weapons have as much, if not more tech. Some of these combine outfires of the same weapons, while others can combine up to 3 weapons in order to do some crazy shit. My favorite is the rail coin, which will reflect a ray cannon shot with the coin. You can make the shot go through enemies 3 times. Besides the weapons, there are 3 arms. The first one is the feedbacker, which punches fast and is able to parry enemies' attacks. The second arm, the knuckle blaster, which you acquire in an act of self-defense, can punch with stronger attacks, but is also slower than the Fishbacker, and can also blast enemies and projectiles away if you hold the punch button. The third arm is the Whiplash, which can be used to either pull enemies towards you or to pull yourself towards enemies, which allow for much quicker movement through the levels. Killing enemies in this game is only half the fun. The other half is doing it in style. The combo meter is one of, if not the best thing about this game, as it forces you to play fast, switch up your weapons, and keep on the move to get to the coveted rank of ULTRAKILL. The game now is split in 5 layers, each that ends with a climactic boss fight. Bosses are where the game's mechanics shine the most, being fast-paced fights which challenge the player's mastery of the game. All of these bosses are unique in their own way, and sometimes they appear in a later level or in the cyberground as a normal enemy. I won't stay on them for too long, as I don't want to spoil them until the spoiler section. Besides bosses, each of the enemies feel special in their own way. Well, mostly. If I had to make a criticism in the enemy's variety, it would be these two, with the soldier only being a strong version of this trace. Besides all of that, there is something I haven't touched on, or you've been hearing during the entire video, the music. All of the tracks in this game slaps. From the first level to the last boss, every track is unique and have their own style on each level. The prologue has an industrial rock atmosphere, while Limbo has a heavenly feel with the harp that gets distorted in combat, only to then get completely obliterated when the illusion is broken. Each layer has its own distinctive look with the color palette and style, from the industrial tunnels and machinery in the prelude to the new color lust layer. Each layer has its own atmosphere that makes them unique. Better yet, the game's secrets and Easter eggs, whether it be references to YouTubers who have covered the game and go to heaven, the game is full of secrets. There's also currently one secret level per layer. Prelude secret level has you hunted by this thing in a dark maze, where you have to pick up 2 skulls that are in opposite sides of the map. If you choose skill like a boss, here's your map. Good luck. Limbo Secret Level is a challenge which has you complete these puzzles, a complete 180 from the last level. Lust Secret Level is a light novel style minigame where you debate philosophy with a schoolgirl version of V1. Grid Secret Level is a Crash Bandicoot style minigame where you have to collect coins and destroy crates. Gluttony Secret Level is a spoiler for later. Besides those, there's another secret level, the Sandbox. Yes, the banking put GM construct on the game as the Sandbox. You can train against enemies or just have fun doing ridiculous stuff with cheats. Also, you can use the tools here in order to make your own custom levels. Now, for the spoiler section of the video, we'll talk about bosses. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip to here. The bosses in the game are great, as they will beat you with love until you get good. V2 forces you into a close and fast-paced fight which rarely lasts too long no matter who wins. It is the perfect trope of I'm you but better, as you have to dodge his attacks and retaliate in the little downtime you have. While the corpse of King Minos may seem like a boring fight, I think it's pretty cool. While it's not my favorite, what makes this fight special is the fact you can parry his punches. Let me repeat it, you can parry these giant punches. There is a whole other level of power trip, which is awesome. Gabriel is a great boss that will kick your ass. His fast-paced attacks and low downtime keep you on edge, and make you have to focus on his next telegraph moves. When you think you've got him, he gets enraged, and now you're forced to weave in and out of his attacks, which are now more powerful and faster, with a lower downtime. The second virtual fight is a great send-off of the character. It is the first virtual fight where he can now use the coin, and any coins you fall into the air and fail to shoot will become his, and soon will hit your face. After you think you beat him, you have to slide down the side of a pyramid and shoot out with your rival. After you beat him for real, he just dies. You can only unlock Gluttony's secret level after you P-rank all of Payload and Act 1 levels, that is, getting the max rank on style, kills and time, without dying on all these levels. While you may think that it is some boring work you have to do, it is in fact a warning. As you'll soon find out after you cross the key door, all you've done is prove you're worthy of this level. When you enter P1 Prime Sanctum, you see the elevator looks different. It is white and golden instead of the normal red and grey. When you get out the elevator, you're confronted with a single torch and the worst case of scoliosis ever recorded. Seriously, how'd you get your spine to look like this? When you get to the bottom of it, you jump into a mouth, then put the torch on the pedestal, prompting the huge door to open, which leads to a small opening. After you cross it, you're confronted with the Flash Prison. This twisted abomination summons 6 to 10 minions that shoot you. If you play on Violent, it also summons more copies of the malicious face that have double the health of the other minions, ensuring an exploding laser beam. If you fail to kill all minions within a short time after the prison summons them, the abomination starts healing itself, most of the time to full health. Besides the minions, the prison shoot a ring of projectiles at you, summon a lightning, and also summon a black hole, which doesn't kill you, but instead takes your health down to 1 point and puts a hard damage cap, which prevents healing for a few seconds, and other minions shoot you. If you're able to defeat the Flash Prison, you're confronted with its captive.
Free at last. Oh, Gabriel, now dawns thy reckoning, and thy gore shall glisten before the temples of man. Creature of steel, my gratitude upon thee for my freedom. But the crimes thy kind have committed against humanity are not forgotten, and thy punishment is death.
This fight is difficult, but it is my favorite of the entire game for now. Minions can combo you to death if you don't pay attention to his attacks. He can shoot snakes out of his arms, drop kick, and kick you into the air and back down rapidly. He is a non-difficulty spike, which distinguishes the boys from the men. His fight is brutal, and if you manage to get him to half health, his attacks become much more quicker and powerful, some of them becoming unparable. After killing him, you are rewarded with bragging rights and a lore terminal. If you think you're done after all the secrets, bosses and levels, think again, as there's one final level in the game. The Cyberquad is an ever-changing level where you face off against enemies in waves, with each wave switching the level around. You can also customize the Cyberquad to look however you want, be it skybox or the floor. You can change it by choosing textures on the blue terminal, and you can also drop custom textures into the game. I don't know if I love or hate this. Overall, ULTRAKILL is a fantastic game with a great soundtrack, addicting gameplay, and challenging levels. I give it 5 quakes out of 3 dooms. Like and subscribe if you like this type of content. Until next time, see ya.